Hello friends. Welcome back again to the I Have a Vision Academy YouTube channel. In short, I Have Academy. So without wasting any further time, let's start today's polity session. Heading will be Making of Constitution. So in this manner, we will be proceeding throughout our chapter. Although I have told you some things about each and every point, but in today's session we are going to go in depth. Okay, so let's start with the history. So I have told you this before that in 1934 M.N. Roy, who was a communist, so he gave the idea of forming a constituent assembly. Following his ideology, in 1935, Indian National Congress demanded the formation of constituent assembly. British accepted this proposal of constituent assembly in the August offer of 1940. Okay. Then comes the Cripps mission in 1942. Who was Cripps? He was MP of Britain. Okay. Then, having concluded all this, at last in 1946, finally our constituent assembly has been made. By which act? The British Parliament has enacted a law in their parliament which is called Cabinet Mission Act of 1946, of course. That's why in 1946 Constituent Assembly has been made. Okay. So this was the general history of formation of Constituent Assembly. Proceeding to the next heading, the composition. Now, by what members the Constituent Assembly has been composed of, we are going to study. So I have told you in previous lectures that Constituent Assembly was partly elected and partly nominated. What is this? Another Picasso drawing. Okay, enjoy it. Now, what are these? These are princely states, or better known as Rajwadas of India. And this area, See, I am not drawing with accuracy. आप इस पे होमवर्क मत करने बैठ जाना, ये एमपी है, ये राजस्थान है, ये वेस्ट बंगाल है, ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है. दिस इज काइंड ऑफ एग्जाम्पल फॉर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो द रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया वाज द एक्चुअल ब्रिटिश इंडिया. द ब्रिटिश and their laws are applied in these areas and not in these areas. I have told you before now these Rajwadas are quite independent, but they have entered into an agreement with Britishers known as the Act of Paramountcy. Okay, the Agreement of Paramountcy. Agreement of Paramountcy में होता क्या था? The Rajwadas, the small kings of India, are saying, please grant us independence. Okay, please grant us independence in our own area, and we accept that there is a queen sitting above us. क्या थी ये queen? The Queen of England. Okay, so they are accepting that there is a more powerful queen sitting above them, but they want independence in their areas. This is nothing but the Agreement of Paramountcy. Okay, coming back to the composition, these are Rajwadas and these are the actual British India. Okay, so now this is Constituent Assembly. Now we have to fill this class with water or with members. So how was it done? We have to represent all of India, not these Rajwadas or these British provinces. So we have to give respective seats to both the provinces. So first is the Constituent Assembly contains the members from the princely states as well as from the British provinces. This was the first step. Okay. Now second thing, यहाँ राजा रूल कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. राजा हमेशा अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन खुद बनाता है. Every autocrat create their own constitution by enacting their own laws. तो यहां से जो मेंबर्स आएंगे, द मेंबर्स कमिंग फ्रॉम दीज प्रोविंसेस विल बी डेफिनेटली nominated by princes, not elected by the citizens of these provinces. Okay, so what does it mean? The Constituent Assembly was partly nominated and partly elected because these are the British provinces. So the members coming from the British provinces will get induction in Constituent Assembly by means of elections. Understood? Partly elected and partly nominated. Okay. So partly elected, the members coming from British provinces, I think it is 289, and rest I think 93 or some number are coming from princely states. Okay, so in total (296) were partly elected and 93 were nominated by the Rajwadas. So 389 members in total. Now how are these elected members are coming in the Constituent Assembly? Let us see this. Now concentrate on this graph. What are these? These are the electors of one provinces. Elector means the citizens who are entitled to vote, who have a right to vote. Okay, so these are nothing but the electors. Okay, they are electing some representatives of their choice in the legislative council of each state or province. Which province? Not Rajwadas, British province. Now those who have been elected in these legislative councils will elect the members of Constituent Assembly. So these are kind of indirect elections to the Constituent Assembly, and this is not only but one of the criticisms of Constituent Assembly. We will dwell into this topic in further. So this was the structure of the elections in British provinces. Okay, one more thing, all the famous personalities of that period of time are part of the Constituent Assembly except one. Who was that one? Father of our nation. Okay. Also, Muslim League has boycotted the Constituent Assembly. So, with a logical deduction, Jinnah was also not part of it. Understood? One more point before going forward. This Constituent Assembly has the representation of each and every section of our Indian society. Okay. This general statement can be given in a statement form in your UPSC prelim exam. So please remember this statement. Each and every section of the Indian society has been represented in the Constituent Assembly. Okay. Working. So following the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946, our Constituent Assembly has been formed in November. Okay. These all things I have told you before in previous classes. On 9th December of 1946, of course, first meeting was held. Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was made the interim or a temporary president. After 2 days, 11 December. After 2 days, 13 December. 11 December. Second meeting, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who was he? The first president of independent India. He was elected as the permanent president of Constituent Assembly. Okay. Plus 2 days, 13 December. First session of Constituent Assembly. Now, what is the difference between session and meeting? The meeting is more of a general kind. Okay. In session, the actual working of Constituent Assembly has been started. That is what we call a session. These are more of a samosa parties, but this is more of a working time of Constituent Assembly. Okay. Now in first session, the objective resolution has been put forward by none other than JLN, Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay. This was passed, I think, 1 month after, 22nd Jan, approximately 1 month after. So this was kind of working of Constituent Assembly. Okay. Now the Constituent Assembly has been working. Okay. 22nd January has been reached of 1947. You remember this year, 1947? Now comes what happened on this date? India got independence from British Raj on midnight of 14-15 August 1947. So how was India got independence? Because approximately at this time the Indian Independence Act was passed in the British Parliament, confirming that India will get its independence on the midnight of 14-15. Okay. So as soon as the constitution, the formation of constitution has been done on as soon as these dates arrive, two acts, Government of India Act of 1935 and Indian Independence Act of 1947 has been repealed. Why I am telling you this point? Till the formation of our Indian Constitution, Government of India Act 1935 has been working as an interim constitution. ऐसे क्या एनार्की फैल रही थी क्या? जैसे ही इंडिया इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट आया उसके बाद ब्रिटिश हैज लेफ्ट अस, सो देयर वर नो फॉर्मल और लीगल लॉज एप्लीकेबल ऑन द इंडियन सॉइल. So how was all the political and administrative system of India is working? So if you logically deduct it, the Government of India Act 1935 has been enforced on the Indian soil till, okay, and at this date 26 November 1949, which is also called the day of enactment of Indian Constitution, two laws, Government of India Act 1935 and Indian Independence Act of 1947 has been repealed. Okay. These two dates are very important regarding our exams. The first one is The first date you can see 26th of November 1949, which is also called the day of enactment of Constitution. What is the meaning of enactment? It means our Constituent Assembly is working in two different circumstances. The Constituent Assembly has the dual role, as we can see in the movie अपरिचित. दो रोल होते हैं उसके. So when the Constituent Assembly is meeting as a Constituent Assembly, means as a drafting committee of a constitution, to read the provisions of constitution, to have amendments in the formation of constitution. So when the Constituent Assembly is meeting as a Constituent Assembly, its head was, we all know, the permanent president of Constituent Assembly, who is none other than Dr. Rajendra Prasad. But when the Constituent Assembly is meeting as a parliament, अरे भाई, जब हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं बना था तो मैंने बताया गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 लागू था, पर और भी तो ऑर्डिनेंसेस लान थे, और भी तो प्रोविजंस कुछ अगर कभी कोई एरिया में चाहिए होंगे तो कौन उसको एनेक्ट करेगा, कौन उसे लेजिस्लेट करेगा? ऑफ कोर्स द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली हैज बीन फॉर्म्ड, so it is working as Parliament of India also. Okay, so when the Constituent Assembly meets as Parliament, the chairman was G.V. Mavlankar. Okay, so what is meaning of this chairman of Parliament? It is none other than Speaker, है ना? So G.V. Mavlankar was first Speaker. Understood? So what do you mean by enactment? So when the Constituent Assembly is meeting as a parliament, so they have passed this copy of constitution, which is none other than a law. So when the constitution as a law is passed in the Constituent Assembly of India, it has become an act, and the process is called enactment. So this date signifies the enactment of constitution. So why does India became republic on 26 Jan of 1950? Because in 1930, going in past, we have a Purna Swaraj Day. In 1929, we have a Lahore session, and in the year 1930, we have a Purna Swaraj Day, concluding the Lahore session on banks of Ravi River. Okay, I think the national flag was hoisted. So to commemorate the Purna Swaraj Day of the 1930, this date was chosen to declare India as a republic nation. Now, what is the meaning of a republic country? It means the head of a country is elected and not hereditary. एक डायनेस्टी रूल कर रही है एज इन यूके, उस डायनेस्टी का किंग, मतलब इन प्रैक्टिस तो क्वीन बनती है, तो उन यूके में उस क्वीन की डायनेस्टी चली आ रही है, एंड द क्वीन इज द हेड ऑफ द यूके. उत्तराखंड? नो, यूनाइटेड किंगडम. ओके, सो दे आर नॉट रिपब्लिक, that is called monarchy, yet they are democrats, because there are two types of democracy. I will tell you in further classes. So that is the meaning of republic. On 26 Jan 1950 we celebrate our Republic Day. On 15th August 1947, Indian Independence Act of 1947 was passed. So the day is called Independence Day. This is the difference between Independence and Republic Day. 26 Jan to commemorate the Purna Swaraj Day. Okay. So the Constituent Assembly was the first parliament of Free India also. Understood? So on 24 Jan 1950, 2 days before Republic Day, the members, the Constituent Assembly members has signed the Constitution. Okay. This number is not that much important, how many members have signed it, but some members are absent on that day. So सारे members ने sign नहीं किया. 2 or more general things before going to criticisms. I have told you there are 389 members in the Constituent Assembly. Okay. Partly elected, partly nominated. After partition, only 299 members remain because Pakistan has been bifurcated from India. So the members who belongs to the provinces of Pakistan has left the Constituent Assembly. So 299 members remain, and from these 299 members, some are absent and rest who are present will append their signatures on 24 Jan 1950. Understood? One more random point. These nominated members, these Rajwadas, have rejected the offer to join the Constituent Assembly in the initial stages. But later on, as the working of Constituent Assembly progresses, and the India got independence on 15th of August 1947. So the British paramountcy clause has been ended. So as that act has been repealed, तो इनमें थोड़ा डर आ गया, and they started to join Constituent Assembly. Okay. Some of the Muslim members of the Muslim League, but who belong to provinces in India, also came forward, some of them, and joined the Constituent Assembly. So if we get an extreme statement in our prelims, so that is of course wrong. The last part, criticisms of Constituent Assembly. Let's change the marker. A time consuming body. In how many days the drafting committee, one of the committees, see there are 11 sessions held of Constituent Assembly and 13 committees were formed during the formation of our constitution. One of the committee was the famous drafting committee consisting of 7 members and his head was Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, who is also known as Modern Manu. Okay, so this drafting committee took 2 years (2 years, 11 months, 18 days) approximately. Three years. How can you remember this? 2, 11, 18 याद रखो, इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर है, 2, 11, 18. और ऐसे नहीं याद हो तो ये याद रख लो, अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 3 years. ऐसी भी स्टेटमेंट यूपीएससी कैन गिव अस दैट द ड्राफ्टिंग कमिटी took almost 3 years in framing the constitution. So that is a correct statement. Okay, I think in one of the UPSC prelims, the statement has been given in geography topic that the longitudinal and latitudinal extent of India is approximately 3000. Sorry, 30 latitude and longitude. So it is more or less a correct statement. So same apply for this. So back to criticism. Time consuming. So it took 2 years, 11 months, 18 days. While as compared to this, only 4 months to frame which constitution? The first democracy of the world. American Constitution. Year 1776, I think. America got independent. From who? None other than our dear Britishers. Okay. So you see the difference between these two things. So some experts also call this committee as a drifting committee. Okay, not a drafting committee but a drifting committee. Congress dominated because most of the members are from the Congress. Okay, when the proposal has been accepted that drafting committee will be formed in the near future, so the elections were held in the British provinces. I have told you this. So major members are from Congress only. So I think one of the constitutional expert has quoted that Constituent Assembly is Congress and Congress is India. So this is the second criticism. Some criticized the Constituent Assembly as politician lawyers paradise. Why? Because most of the members in the Constituent Assembly are lawyers or politicians. Like our own Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar is a lawyer. Gandhi, barrister. Okay. So these lawyers have written the constitution in such a technical way, in such a convoluted way, that it is not easy for a citizen of India to understand this constitution. और वही अभी हम कर रहे हैं इस क्लास में. We are understanding the constitution. So these lawyers or politicians has the habit to write a particular thing in three different forms. Why? Because they know the Indian citizens are very smart. They are smart at finding loopholes in these laws. So lawyers will try to cover every loophole. Okay, so these are politician lawyers paradise. तीन साल लिए हमने अप्रॉक्सीमेटली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाने में. क्यों लिए? लेंथीएस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. So this is one of the criticism, but it is not a right criticism according to me, because India contains a large diversity, linguistic diversity, regional diversity, caste diversity, okay, north-south diversity, lingual diversity. So these all diversities has to be included in our constitution. So that's why it is lengthiest. We have discussed these points in previous classes. Also, fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy, emergencies, various other provisions are being thoroughly explained, unlike other constitution. Then we have a single constitution at the state level, for the state level and for the union level, unlike America. In America, every province, every state has a different constitution, and the center, the union level of America has a different constitution. Okay, so that is one of the point. Dominated by Hindus. So I think Winston Churchill has said that the Constituent Assembly of India has represented only one community, that is the Hindu community. Last two criticisms. The Constituent Assembly is not a representative body. We have seen that it is partly elected and partly nominated. So how it is representing the Rajwadas? Because Rajas will nominate their loyal person to the Constituent Assembly. The second thing, not a sovereign body. Constituent Assembly has been made, I have repeated it, the Constituent Assembly is made by the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. What is this Cabinet Mission Plan? It is a law enacted by the British Parliament. So whenever the Constituent Assembly has to meet, has to organize its session, they have to take permission of the British Parliament. So how the Constituent Assembly is called sovereign? The counter argument to this fact, the sovereignty of Constituent Assembly, that when the Constituent Assembly are organizing its session, so at one particular session, Constituent Assembly has passed a law declaring that the Constituent Assembly is independent and sovereign. And who can dissolve it? So the Constituent Assembly can be dissolved by its members itself. By how much majority? 2/3 majority or special majority. Okay, so this was written and in that particular act. And after the Indian Independence Act of 1947 has been passed, the British paramountcy clause has been ended and India is united. Thereafter, Constituent Assembly is made fully sovereign. So these are nothing but the last part or criticisms of the Constituent Assembly. Now I am showing you some of the rectification facts on the screen. Please revise this because in UPSC everything can be asked. So friends, this was all about making of the constitution. So if you like our video, please share it with your friends and tell them to subscribe to our channel. तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, जय हिंद.